Here's the reason why most traders fail, and it's not because of strategy. And you probably clicked on this video because you are struggling as a trader and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And trust and believe, I've been there, done that, have experienced everything that you have been through when it comes to not being profitable as a trader. But a lot of people believe that trading strategy is the reason why people are failing. And to be honest with you, majority of the time, it is not. Okay. You can have the best trading strategy in the world and still fail as a trader because of a list of things that I am going to talk about today that I believe needs to be addressed. Okay. I have these things written down. So if you want to take notes, please take notes. On this channel, I believe trading psychology videos is very informal and helpful because trading psychology is the main reason why you become successful. I personally believe trading strategy is the backbone to trading psychology. And if you do not have your trading psychology in order, then strategy means nothing. All right. Number one thing we need to address. All right. And this is something I still struggle with as a trader, and I believe needs to um, be corrected because if we don't stop doing this, it's going to end our whole trading career. And we might as well just go find something else to do. All right. Revenge trading after a loss. How many of you guys who are watching this video, after you take a loss, you feel like you have to make your money back, right? Almost every trader has done this. And I believe the reason why we're doing it is because we simply just cannot learn how to take a loss, step away from the charts, and close the laptop, which is the reason why many accounts get blown. You could be up $10,000 on your live account just to find yourself back down to zero, just to find yourself back down to $1,000. And then you look back and you realize, wow, I went from $10,000 to almost $0 within a couple of days, not because of trading strategy, but because of revenge trading. There is a handful, no, there's plenty, probably 80 or 90% of traders in this industry are failing because of revenge trading. So if we can cut out revenge trading, imagine what your trading career will look like. Imagine what your money and your trading account will look like. Instead of just losing $300 for one day with that 10K, you end up losing $6,000 within that one day because you cannot simply take a loss and walk away. So those are one of the reasons why. Number two, cutting winners too early and letting the losers run. So listen, this is what I personally believe in. All right. And just to clarify this, so I'm not confusing anybody. When you are allowing your winners to run, you are going to outweigh your losses in the long run. Okay. If you cut your losses short, you will be ahead of the ball game because number one thing, many traders just want to quickly win and then stay out the market, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I do that. But I'm talking about on the basis of you're afraid of holding your trade a little bit longer because of what the market's going to do, right? This is where the concept of go for a one-on-one and then leave a runner comes into play. Okay. If you're afraid to do that, then go for a one-on-one and then leave a runner and put your runner at break even. Okay. That means your trade is safe. And if the market comes back on you, you don't have to worry about getting stopped out, okay, or losing any money. But what happens is we end up getting into a trade and our minds say, I believe it's going to go farther than a risk to reward of 101. We're going to go for a 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. And then all of a sudden we see just a little bit of pullback and we cut our winners. And then all of a sudden the market goes exactly where we want. You see this happening time after time again. And this is the reason why you have to have confidence in your trading, because if you don't, then you're just going to be stuck losing more and winning less. Okay. And this is the reason why risk management is so important. So if you do lose, make sure your losses are small. And when you do win, make sure those wins are larger. Okay. So remember, this is trading psychology, guys. This is not strategy. I'm telling you once again, this is the reason why strategy is not as important as psychology, because you can have the best strategy, but if your mental game is not on point, if your psychology is not on point, because trading psychology is what drives your entries, it's what drives your risk. Like, it's your decision making in the market and the way you react to the market. If it's not on point, you're not going to be successful as a trader. Okay, that's the second thing. So the third thing is no trading plan, or abandoning the trade mid trade. Excuse me, or abandoning the plan mid trade. I've struggled with this a whole lot. I'll put on a drawing board. Okay, hey, this is what I'm going to do for the week. And if I lost, I'm going to, step away. Or if I win, I'm just going to step away. What ends up happening is you win a trade, right? And trust and believe, I've won more money doing this, abandoning my plan. So I'll win a trade, and then I'm like, oh, that's not enough. I'll win another trade. Oh, that's not enough. And then I win another trade, and I come out like, wow, I just won a lot of money. Even though that's all good, it was not a part of the trading plan. The reason why I say this is very important is because if you are always wanting more, imagine when you lose, you're going to always want your money back. This is the reason why traders who are completely disciplined, who maybe if they took a loss once or twice a day and just say, I'm stepping away from the charts, are usually the ones who make it in this industry, versus somebody who says, okay, I took a trade one, took another trade one. I think that's enough for today. Or just take a trade and win and just be done for today. Those are going to be the traders who are going to win long term. Why? Because they want to make sure they're putting themselves in a position where they're not over trading or over risking. Okay. So make sure that if you have a plan, stick with it. And if your plan is to take as many trades as you want in a day and then call it whenever, then make that your plan. But don't make a plan to where I'm only going to trade once or twice a day. And then all of a sudden you're going against your plan. And now you catch yourself losing more than you winning. All right. So that's number 3. Number 4, overconfidence after a winning streak. Wow. This is definitely me. So I will get in this winning streak phase and I will win money. And then all of a sudden I'm like, man, this is it. I'm here. I've made it. Somewhere in the back of my mind will tell me be on guard, because we all know the markets are always forever changing and we have to adapt to the markets. What ends up happening is I get overly confident, and then the next week goes in and then the market is doing something completely different that I have no way, shape, or form of what it's doing. I try to adapt to it. I start losing, and then all of a sudden it's just like you're back at ground zero. And the reason why is because in your mind you're thinking, once I win and I'm continuously winning, you get in this phase where you're unstoppable, or you feel like you can't lose all the money that you just won. And the fact is, if you're not on guard, you will lose all the money that you just won. And this is something as a trader I'm still learning, because it feels good to win, guys. It feels good to be on a winning streak, right? My mentor currently right now is on a 2-week losing streak. And even though he's won a couple of trades, even him himself is on a 2-week losing streak. The difference with him is he's disciplined. He knows when to cut his losses. He knows when he said he's done. He's not over trading. The difference with me, I'm still developing as a trader. Therefore, my confidence is so high. I tend to take more losses because I'm overly confident. So you have to make sure when you are on a winning streak, you best to make sure that you are on guard. So once you start taking losses, you're like, that's it. Because we all know that the market will take back exactly what you made if you do not be on guard. So make sure that when you're overly confident, once again, that you are enjoying those moments, those little small moments, those winners. And once you start getting back on a losing streak, start cutting back. All right. So the goal is to keep what you make, right? Not to give away what you've made. All right. So that's number 4. All right. Number 5. This is a big one. FOMO, chasing trades. My goodness. How many times do you guys feel like when the market is on a strong trend and it breaks out with no confluence, no setup, the first thing we tend to do is just press buy or sell. Why do you think that is? And I'm gonna tell you here in a second. The reason why we do that is because we fear that we're going to miss out on the trade. It's the same way when we get into the market and the market starts pulling back and we're in the red, we automatically think, "Oh man, I lost," or "I got to go ahead and take my money out and be in the red." No, let the trade do what it needs to do, because you never know when the market is going to go right back in your favor. And that's the issue. The market wants to scare you out your trade to make you look like, this stuff is impossible, when in reality, you can't even handle a simple drawdown. It's the same way of you can't even handle a breakout with no confluence, with no setup. Nothing in your strategy tells you to take this trade, but you take it anyways. So, this is the reason why as a trader, you need to be patient. You need to wait. If the market all of a sudden just blasts out of nowhere, that does not give you the confirmation to take a buy or a sell. How many times have you done that? And then the market reverses right on you and you get pretty angry at yourself, and then you start blaming the markets or you blame your mentor, when in reality you didn't stick to the strategy that you had in mind or you had planned, right? So this is the reason why you need to wait for a setup, so that way you don't get faked out by the markets. Remember, these markets have so many fake outs that you have to be able to wait. All right, think about it. Our mentor said you get paid to wait. The more you're impatient, the more you're going to lose. The more you're patient, the less, I believe personally, the less you will lose. Okay. So make sure that the markets aren't causing you to make impulsive decisions. Make sure that the market is aligning up with your setup for you to make wise decisions. All right. So, number six, which is the last one I really want to point out, treating trading like gambling instead of a business skill. Man, I think this is one of the ones that I struggled with the most, because when does trading become gambling? And the question is trading gambling? No, trading is not gambling, but it becomes gambling once you just start automatically think you can just make money in this market by just pressing the buy sell button. That's the gambling. Going into this, not treating it like a business, saying, "Oh man, if it just goes, I'm just going to press buy or sell," and just thinking that you can just constantly make money that way. That's gambling. Okay. Coming in this with a strategy, coming in this with a trading plan, coming this with a risk management, coming in this by waiting on your setup, right? This is not gambling. This is treating it like a business. Thinking of this, thinking think of it this way: when you start a business, most entrepreneurs don't make money right away. In fact, most traders probably make more money faster than normal entrepreneurs because of how much liquidated the market is, right? And how much volatile the market is. But with normal entrepreneurs, let's just say, for example, I'm setting up a grocery store or anything that causes me to buy more products and resell it. It's going to take a while because you first have to get people interested into your business, into even wanting your product. With trading, it is not like that. With trading, it's like you make money regardless whether you're buying or selling, right? You don't need anybody to be interested in anything. You're just reacting to what the markets are giving you. But with a normal entrepreneur, they have to strategize, game plan, budget, make sure whatever money is going out is going to be made back plus some. It's the reason why you have some stores that price gouge. You have some stores that sell, product that's higher than it should be, because they have to profit back what they lost. That's business. Treating it like a business and using your skill to make sure that your business is growing. Think about it like this: with trading, we don't have to do it like that. We don't say, "Oh, I'm going to throw out $200 so I can make back $200 or a little bit more." No, we say we're going to risk $200, and whatever the market gives us, even if it's a lot more than what we have, then that's amazing. And we don't even have to have anybody be interested in us. We don't have to have customers or clients demanding for us to demand them to purchase from us. No, trading is just giving us the opportunity just to make money. So this is the reason why we need to treat trading like a business, a skill. And it's something I said a time after time again, something I'm constantly learning. Just because I made a video last time, $2,000 to $6,000 to a live account don't mean nothing. Just because I withdrew $6,000 within a couple months and being able to support my family with that does not mean nothing. It just means, cool, you did it. You was able to provide. But can you constantly do that? Again, time after time after time. I hope this video really gives you more of a perspective of what we should be looking at trading like. Yes, this might take a very long time. It might take another 5 years for you to get out of your job. It might take another 5 years for you to develop the skill. But however long it will take for you to be get better to for you to become better as a trader, it's going to be so worth it and so valuable in the long run. So you can look back and said, everything I did was not in vain. I treated it like a business. I stuck to my plan and I didn't just rely on my strategy, but I focused on my trading psychology. That's what made me a successful trader. Hope this video was helpful. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Jump in my comments if you have any questions. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.